the state of Connecticut is trying to abolish the death penalty in the middle of all of this going on, before trial has happened. And so Dr. Pettit goes on a radio show and talks about this and how the death penalty is a deterrent for these criminals, because that's what the other side says. Death penalty isn't a deterrent for these criminals because they don't care. They're these horrific murderers or serial killers. They don't give a shit if they're going to get the death penalty, and it's not a deterrent. So why would we have it? And Dr. Pettit says the death penalty is definitely a deterrent. Do you know why? Because they're dead and they can't commit their crimes anymore. So yeah, it's a deterrent. So then he testifies in front of their legislature about why to keep the death penalty. And they have other people they show on the documentary saying Dr. Pettit is basically a poster child for and against the death penalty, right?
I mean, I think that if there's any case that says that the death penalty should be a thing, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is exactly why you would want the death penalty.
Yeah.
And I completely respect he's created the foundation for his daughters and continued the one for his wife that his daughter had created for MS. And he's doing these amazing things. And his daughter was pre-med and she wanted to become a physician, and he's a doctor. And so that was like amazing for him. And everyone's rallied around him in this. And I don't think, I mean, how do you look at him in the face and go, no, it's wrong. I don't think that that's appropriate. No. And I think that he has every right to advocate for that for himself.
100%. We go back to the attorneys. The defense attorneys say, we're not quite sure. It's not a guarantee, first of all, that these perpetrators or offenders will ever get the death penalty. They could just years and years and years of appeals and trial. And the case is focused on the murderers or the offenders, and they become these sort of celebrities or these poster children, right? Instead of what it should be about, which is the victims. Now it becomes about the murderers. And so the attorneys explain that the state has to prove, to be able to get the death penalty, that this case is much more worse than any other triple murder. So they have to have these aggravating factors, which means they have to tell you what I said, trigger warning, that the 11-year-old was raped, that the girls were tied to the bed and had gasoline poured on them and set on fire while they were alive. They have to prove that in court. They have to say those things. They have to show those photos to be able to say, yes, this is a case for the death penalty. And a lot of people don't want to hear that information. It affects the jurors probably their entire lives. I mean, it affects the community. The community listens to these trials, either in person or if it's televised. So it affects a lot of people. And so that's why these defense attorneys, also to keep their clients alive, but they, argue against it. So, but that's explaining why, or what they have to do to be able to get the death penalty imposed. They said in Connecticut, they've only had one gentleman have the death penalty imposed on him after 25 years. And he even asked to be put to death. So it was a weird difference of opinion.